Right. What up?
Yo, long time no see.
I know. All right. Give a shout out.
Where we are? We are at Vitola Fine Cigars in Mount Brook Village. So if you want a good cigar, you want a good atmosphere, want to hang out with some dudes, Vitola Fine Cigars in Mount Brook or VitolaFineCigars.com.
That's right.
Get it all online. Gotta give the shout out.
I've never smoked more cigars in my life.
I know. It's good for you.
Yeah.
And so the nicotine is good for studying.
Is it really?
For focus.
That's definitely
That's why I smoke cigars.
cigarette company propaganda right there.
But I don't inhale.
Right.
It's worse for you than a cigarette.
Right. I don't smoke tobacco.
No. I don't do that.
But today we want to hit on what we would tell our younger selves. You know, these young guys graduating high school, these young guys about to graduate college or going into college, just getting ready for the real world. You know,
Yeah.
You know, guys who are skipping high school or skipping college, going straight into the real world. Man, the sky's the limit today's day and age. I've got a buddy who's 16 years old, building houses, and I don't mean like doing a piece. He is the builder, totally under the table because he's 16. But I've got the people in his community are asking him to run crews to fully build a house, and he is highly skilled, doing a great job.
How does he? So he didn't finance it himself.
No. The person who wants to live in that home is paying for everything, but he's running all the crews, making sure everyone's there, doing their job.
Damn.
And he does a lot on his own because he's been doing it for a long time. Since he was about 12, 13, his grandfather mentored him and taught him carpentry and how to use all these different tools, and now super skilled.
Okay, so he's not the average kid going to college.
No, he's way advanced.
So let's say we got a kid or a guy. We were 18, graduating, going to college.
Right. Well, I want to touch on that right there.
All right.
I bring up my young friend because you don't necessarily need to go to college in today's world.
He doesn't need it
No.
if he's already got a business.
So he actually he was homeschooled. He dropped out of school. He got his GED because he needed more time to dedicate to his clients and work on his business.
Smart. Well, he's probably making good money.
He's making good money, making more money than me, I believe. Yeah, no, it's
Okay.
insane. But there's so many stories like that of these unconventional routes that these young men are doing, and I just want to encourage all these people watching, check into these different avenues. You know, because you don't have to go the traditional route. Of course you can if that's what you know you want to do. But if you don't know, there's so many options out there. So many options.
Yeah, and I think if I were going back to college now, 18, with what we know,
Right?
I think I would still go to college.
Right?
Not necessarily for accounting and finance.
Right?
That's what I took. But for the connections, learning how to interact with people my age,
Right?
Getting involved with different things that can lead to better opportunities down the road,
Right?
and then I would start a business.
Right. I 100% agree. Yeah,
That's what I would do.
I would say the first 2 years of college, I would knock them out. I would knock them out even if you could do dual enrollment. That's what I did. So in high school, I knocked out the first 2 years of college. Those are general education classes.
You did a full 2 years in high school?
Yep. So if you have that opportunity, your county, your school offers that, highly recommend get that out of the way. They're the basic classes. And then if you don't know what you want to do, maybe take a pause, think about it. If you want to move forward, move forward. But those first 2 years, man, knock them out.
Yeah, for sure. And I think unless you're going for a specific profession like doctor, pharmacist, lawyer, to be a professional,
Right.
then school isn't the most important thing.
Right.
If you have all A's as a business major without any specific path, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter in the future. Do you even know what your GPA was?
No.
No, it doesn't matter.
No.
Exactly. I think learning business by doing it and just starting a small business while you're in college is the best thing you can do.
Some opportunities, just ideas to spark the brain going. When I was in high school and in college, I was working and operating a gym. Looking back at it now, if I would have been more mature and forward thinking,
Yeah.
I believe I could have done a creative deal to buy that gym from that owner at the time.
How is someone that's 18 going to know that,
Right. Well, I just wasn't thinking that way. I was in a W-2 mindset, and this is what I do. I just work here. But I was in such a position. There was a local owner. She loved me. If I would have really put my head down and figured out how to buy and how to operate that gym, I guarantee she would have sold it to me some sort of seller financing.
Or giving you some sort of ownership,
Right.
like to run it.
Right. And there are so many people who want to get out of their business and retire that young people could walk into it and have a fully functioning business. They would have to do some sort of financing, pretty much. But
Yeah.
there's ways to get around
Payoff
that.
structure.
Right.
So, if you're 18 going to college, would you go back into the gym or would you try and start your own little business?
It depends. That's definitely an option. I've always wanted to, and that's what I'm doing, be a full-time real estate investor. So I would do whatever it takes to make a large amount of money early so that I can start buying these properties and accumulating a portfolio to the point where I can live on that. So that's my end goal business. But first you got to have that money coming in. So yeah, I'd say any kind of business where I'm not working for someone else, I would get in on that ASAP.
I think for me, I would have done something that like all of my students, my fellow classmates would have needed. Like
That's good.
trash removal.
That's
For
good.
like big apartment complexes.
Right.
If you go, they all just leave them right outside their door and they'll pick up once a week or something like that. Why not just say, listen, we'll partner with the complex manager. Like, listen, I'll do it twice a week for half the cost.
Right.
And then you can start building up contacts and then change your business model over time.
Right. Yeah, open your eyes to opportunities around you. I think that's a key thing that we're saying is try and figure out a business that you can get going in early on.
Yeah.
And run it. Get that thing going. Automate it. Get you some cash flow. Like, I would open my eyes if I could talk to my younger self. Be like, listen, dude, you can make 6 figures or more at such a young age now if you've got that drive and the ideas to do it, to follow up with it. I just didn't think it was possible. Honestly, like, my mindset was that was not possible.
It doesn't take long to learn something either now.
Right.
Like you
It's all online.
spend 4 hours hyper focused on one topic. You can figure out the basics pretty simply.
High school and college is online now. Certificates and how to learn anything's online anyway. So
I know, it's
just
ridiculous.
do it. You can go to Harvard. There's literally full-on Harvard classes on YouTube. If you want to watch it, you want to actually learn it, do it. It's there.
Yeah, but is it better because it's Harvard?
No.
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe depending on that professor, but
Or depending on the topic.
right.
Like if you're going to med school, I'm sure that's a lot better. But
Right.
if you just want a general business course, they're probably not going to teach you anything different than they would at Alabama
Right.
or Auburn.
Yeah, I would tell myself to just get serious sooner, get started sooner, stop thinking about sports. Man, I thought sports was the ticket. For some reason, it was like, but that was just the reality of high school and college. Like, oh, sports is like,
That's all people want to do now. All the students say they're crazy about their football, basketball teams.
and the crazy thing to me, is trades, right? Now, if you're just a W-2 trade employee, you're a framer, plumber, electrician, you're not going to be making some generational wealth. But that's where you have to start, get in that trade, and then when you open your own trade business, you get employees underneath you. Oh my gosh, I know young guys in their early 20s making 500, 600 grand, but they're not doing all the work anymore. They've got other guys, other crews going out for them.
Right.
But I used to view trades as like, not that good. No, there's no way, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Well, I thought there
No,
was a cap to their income, but I didn't have that business understanding of once you open your own business, you have other people doing it for you, how much it can really expand.
I think that's what we're trying to teach people is that there's always a cap when you work for somebody.
Right,
When you work for yourself, it might be harder, definitely at first,
right,
but there's no cap. You're free, and you can do whatever you want to do.
and you gotta learn how to build up a business and get people working with and for you, because there's even a cap on your time that at some point you need to get other people making money for you.
Right.
Otherwise, you're still going to be trading time for money, just in a different way.
What does Alex Ramosi say? It's not time is your greatest asset. It's your focus and your attention.
Right,
So if you have all the time in the world, but you don't focus it the right way, focus it on the right things, then it's just like it's not time. It's just your attention.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even I do real estate now. I'm a realtor. I came across a listing. I was taking the photos for it, right? And the listing agent was like, "Hey, Jordan, it was the lumber company. They do lumber sales, so they get the lumber directly from a lumber yard, then they sell it to contractors. Fully operational business. They only wanted 300 grand, and they were going to do seller financing. And I was right then and there. I was
Dang.
like the first person to know about it. I considered it, but there was a lot of headache involved, and the books were not 100% accurate, which you'll find. And I understand. I don't blame the guy. He was just trying to avoid taxes. But on the books, it made it look like he only profited $20,000 a year. But he told me, personally, he made well over $100,000 or more from the business. But they don't want to jump into anything like that
It's the books.
because it's his word. No offense to his word or anything like that, but his word versus actual numbers, I don't know.
Did he keep 2 books?
Well, that's a question you got to ask him.
Yeah.
But those opportunities are out there.
It's too bad you couldn't have done it yourself.
I would have loved to buy it, learn the business within 6 months, and put a manager in there and then walked away. But
Right.
it was just not something that I could dedicate my time to.
Too much of a risk, and it's not your area of expertise.
Exactly.
So when you're not,
Now,
you haven't made it yet, so
if
keep
someone
focusing on what you know.
met with me and was like, Jordan, I've got 100 units. I need someone to run them, manage them, make sure they're doing well. I would work with a property manager to run that for them. Absolutely, right off the bat,
Yeah.
because that's my world.
You know that world. It's different.
Yeah, but I would definitely tell my younger self, get disciplined fast, wake up early. And early to me back then was 8 a.m. Now, early is 6 a.m. before the sun. Get up before the sun.
For the sun.
Uh,
You can get your whole day done by 9.
seriously.
I love it when that happens.
I'm really seeing that not much gets done after lunch. Maybe some appointments, if you are being dedicated like that. But for a lot of people, not much gets done after lunch.
And a lot of people just don't want to answer the phone after lunch.
Nah, because it's like, oh, it's 2 o'clock. We get off at 3 or 4. I can't squeeze that in mine.
Even if they stop working at 5 or 6, they're like, I'll get to that later.
That's a W-2 mindset, man. I'm grinding all day, nonstop. When I leave here, I got to go list a house. After that, I've got to edit some videos. I'm working on so many different things all the time. What was crazy to me? I recently totally banned video games from my life. I had this one game that was kind of my stress relief, or whatever I want to call it. It was my dead brain moment, right?
Yeah.
I got rid of it.
You need a release, though.
Right now, it's really just the gym. It's always been the gym, but now
Okay, well, that works.
that's all I got. But I got rid of that game, and I found out I am slammed. There, I can fit stuff to do every second of my day, and I keep kicking myself saying,
Should have done it before.
well, did I have all this stuff going on when I had the video game, or was I just ignoring it? And I believe I was just ignoring it.
I think that's where a lot of guys like us get hung up now.
Right?
Is that we're like, okay, well, we're working hard, but we need a release. But really,
Do
do you? So you have your one day that you have your faith, whether it's Saturday for you or Sunday for me.
Right?
Use that as your break organization day.
Right?
Just grind the rest of it.
I would cut
You can
out.
watch that show in 2 years when you've
Made
making
it.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not making six figures, you need to grind. That's, I don't know.
See, I think
I'm not trying to be materialistic, but
no, I think you need to be grinding until you get to a point where you have basically recurring money coming in
right,
that you want to hit that level, and then a little more.
right. Like,
'Cause then it's just going to come. There's always money that's going to leave. So
always.
you want to keep replacing it.
Every day is at least $100.
I think it just depends on how far do you want to go.
Yeah. When I was 18, I really had my sights set on 100 grand. 100 grand was boom. I guess I grew up in the 90s when 100 grand was like,
That was a huge amount.
but now I guess today's day and age, I've really set my sights on $1 million a year. That could be a stretch for some people, but I just know and know personally so many people who have done it, and I see online and whatnot, people are doing way more than that, and I know it's possible.
It's definitely possible. If you don't think it's possible, then you're not going to get there.
Exactly.
So it
And
might take you a little less. It might take you a little longer than some people, but it's not a competition on time. It's just a competition on
you versus
who
you.
lasts. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I'd say you can make millions in any industry. I remember, because I'm from Cape Canaveral, Florida, one of the wealthiest guys in that town, right?
Yeah.
He got started doing landscaping, mowing lawns. Now he's one of the wealthiest men in the area, and probably one of the wealthiest men in Florida. I'm sure he's got to be probably $1 billion. He started with the landscaping, grew that, got different crews, so he didn't have to do all the jobs himself. Started buying real estate. Now he's probably one of the largest commercial real estate owners in the state of Florida.
Just from starting to cut grass.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
No.
Well, we just copy what he did.
Go cut grass.
I like cutting grass.
It's definitely putting in that work, and that's what it takes. No matter what it is, you pick your struggle. Is it out in the sun cutting grass? Is it getting uncomfortable and learning sales and talking to people and
Failing.
right, getting rejected over and over and over? Oh my gosh. I remember in high school I was worried about getting rejected from just like a cute girl. I get rejected on the daily trying to get clients.
Yeah.
To
It's
my
the same
face.
thing.
Friends and family, everybody, man.
Rejection's part of life.
That's part of life. And just getting over it.
I don't even care anymore.
You can't.
It's kind of fun to see the different ways you can get rejected, to see what works and what doesn't work.
And using your communication skills,
Right.
how do you add value to people?
I think we've touched on a lot today.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of value. You know, if I go back, my younger self would be proud of me where I am today. But my self now is saying, Jordan, at
Not
18,
doing enough?
yeah, 18, bro, what were you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I agree with that. For me, too. All right.
Be a man.
I'm going to be a man. I'm going to finish this and go eat some lunch.
That's the deal. Thanks for watching, y'all.